they are expecting the teachers to be well educated, and that they have a lot of freedom how they teach the children and how they meet their goals. And so it's a very highly respected profession still here. I mean, there is of course always people who complain. I mean, we are just people here, you know. But in general, it's a highly respected profession and gives you a lot of freedom to really do what you want to do with your kids. Also, the schools are very independent. Now, I don't know how it is in your countries. In my country, in Germany, we have still these state servants that are kind of just put somewhere into a school, and then it's very controlled from above. And this is different here. The schools are independent. They have their own money, and they actually also can employ the teachers that they choose themselves. And we have a large plan for what needs to be taught in which year, but then the schools themselves, they can have different emphases. They can say, okay, we stress more this type, or we do it that way, or we include a different method, and so. And Finns are very forward-thinking, so they are very forward with technology. So programming in school is taught, and then of course you have computers and cell phones and whatever. So we have Nokia here. You probably know Nokia, which is a Finnish company, the cell phone producer, but it is still the third largest network provider in the world. And so they have lots of gaming industry, like, does anybody know Angry Birds?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because that's a Finnish game, that comes from Helsinki. That's a Rovio, and then we have Supercell, Clash of Clans, so everything that has to do with IT, electronics. And so in order to compete in that industry, you have to have really highly educated people. So the whole education is geared towards, giving the kids the skills they need for the future. So, which is why I'm quite happy that my kids can study here, and my daughter actually gets a monthly allowance of about 450 euros now from the state. She's studying architecture. And so that's quite nice. She still gets some money from us, and she has to work in the summer, because this is only applies for the month when she studies. So the 3-month summer recess we have, she doesn't get any money. So she has to have a job, or rich parents, which we are not, but she is, of course. Helsinki offers lots of summer jobs, as you can imagine, with all the tourism. So many work in tourism. Yeah, just to give you an idea. Yeah, so this is Töölö. The Finnish language is a little bit funny, so we have these O with 2 dots on top. So this is Töölö, this area. It was built in the 1920s, and we are now going to the Rock Church, which is one of the main sites in Helsinki. It was built in 1969, and it's a Lutheran church. Just about as we are going to a church, traditionally the Finns are Protestants. Lutheran, because they were part of Sweden, and Gustav Vasa was one of the first who adopted the Lutheran faith in the 16th century, and they, of course, as they were part of Sweden, they became also Lutheran. And interesting, part of the autonomy in the Russian time was that they were allowed to keep their faith. So they were also Lutheran during the Russian time. But of course we also have an Orthodox church, but then we also had Orthodox people here. But in general, this is a Lutheran country, so this church you're going to see is a normal Lutheran church. And because the architecture is so modern and so exceptional, it has become one of the main sites in Helsinki. There is about 800,000 people visiting here per year.
How many?
About 800,000, and it's a small church. There's about 750 people fit in there. But it's unique. I think you will like it. It's like we have this 2 billion year old granite, so it was blasted into the rock. There is the plain rock to be seen, and on top you have covered with a dome-shaped roof from about 18 miles of copper band that was put up there. And then there is 180 small windows that allow the natural light to go in. There is also a spring, like water dribbling when we have lots of rain, and there is water running down the wall, so it's very unique. And we will go in there now, but as it used to be free, but this year they have started to pay. So we have these little stickers that you get, and they don't stick so well, so I think the best thing is actually to stick it on your hand. That sticks the best. And I would like to do it that way, that we all step out the front door, and whenever you step out, I give you your sticker, and then